restart it, load up my entire family, and hitch up my race truck. The next step is to determine if the 800 miles to Florida can be driven. I like that idea. Vice Grip Garage's host, Derek Bieri, has amassed millions of fans thanks to his refreshing candor, warm demeanor, and distinctive style. Even though he still has a large YouTube following, people are more curious about his private life now that some subtle changes have taken place. A lot of people are curious about Derek's life outside of work, which includes his surprising career changes, relocation of his family, and departure from the corporate world. Join us as we uncover Derek Bieri's fate. In 1981, a man drove this GMC Sierra Grande. You can't compare it to Ariana. The two are completely different. It's no wonder Derek developed a deep passion for automobiles as he matured. He was very involved with the family farm when he was a kid. Derek inherited his father and grandfather's knowledge of auto repair. He then made an effort to educate himself further. It wasn't long before he was an expert when it came to working on his 1969 Chevy Camaro. Despite Derek's expectations, Vice Grip Garage's beginning was anything but easy. Dealing with limited funds, growing his following, and consistently releasing new material were all challenges he had to overcome. For his first film, he resorted to using a broken iPhone fastened to his modest garage door, along with the few rudimentary tools and materials he could locate. The set was set in a Chevy Camaro. Despite his lack of experience in video production, he devoted a lot of time to fixing cars and taught himself the ropes of YouTube. His determination kept him going despite his obvious exhaustion. Derek was a successful businessman before founding Vice Grip Garage. Keep that in mind the next time we broach the subject of love. Despite his joy, he felt hollow inside. He frequently found himself daydreaming about automobiles in the office, even though he was supposed to be fully engaged. Derek desired the ability to make his own decisions. He subsequently gave up his suit and tie for a pair of coveralls and a wrench. Prior experience working in business helped Derek immensely when he began creating videos for YouTube. His channel expanded rapidly because he was already methodical, planned ahead, and made good decisions. He also gained a devoted fan base fast for his straightforward approach to auto repair. The majority of auto shows primarily highlight the positive aspects of repairs. In contrast, Derek displayed the entire procedure, including the errors and hiccups. Slowly but surely, Derek's channel expanded as he uploaded more movies about mending things. The audience enjoyed his sense of humor, the ease with which he resolved issues, and the fact that, unlike other TV shows, he made them feel like they were spending time with a friend. The transition from a day job to full-time YouTube stardom wasn't as smooth as it appeared on camera. However, because it allowed him to spend more time with his family, Derek never felt guilty about that decision. Derek does his best to prioritize his family. When he initially began making videos for YouTube, his wife Jessica Bieri was also a huge assistance. They started dating in 6th grade. After accidentally crossing paths at school, they quickly became friends. Derek was popular with Jessica due to his positive attitude and humor. They remained close friends after graduation and eventually tied the knot a few years later. They have supported each other through thick and thin, built a solid family, and weathered every storm together. Jessica, who was Derek's co-worker, also had a job before she and her husband got into the garage business. She had a genuine passion for her students and relishes in her role as a teacher. Still, she was aware that Vice Grip Garage required additional staff as the business expanded. There is a CEO named you. Do you think that's reasonable? Is it a mirror? I think that's true. Basically, I'm trying to stay on top of everything you're doing and plan accordingly, all while making sure you're prepared for whatever comes before events, shows, revivals, or anything else. Derek devoted a great deal of time to filming, editing, and fixing up vehicles for his YouTube channel. Upon realizing the amount of effort required, Jessica decided to leave her job. The garage is a multi-purpose area for Jess. She is usually behind the scenes, but you might catch her on TV every now and then. So that Derek can focus on fixing cars, she keeps things running, makes schedules, plans shooting days, checks emails, and more. Quitting her job was a huge undertaking, but she was rewarded for her efforts. As a joke, Derek says that he would be completely overwhelmed and unable to accomplish much if Jessica didn't provide him with a daily list of tasks. The channel, which started with a damaged iPhone, has since grown to over 2.25 million subscribers and 730 million views. But according to an authoritative source, Vice Grip Garage has made a whopping $1.20, $1,600,000, 0 cents since its inception. Evidently, Derek has found a way to monetize his passion for restoring vintage automobiles. But wait, there's more. In addition to his other responsibilities, Derek oversees a store where fans can purchase apparel, accessories, and car cleaning supplies. Derek is frugal with his money. He makes enough to live comfortably. He prudently invests it instead. Finding ways to save costs is always his goal. His reasoning led him to decide to uproot his family from Minnesota and settle in Tennessee. There is a huge difference between the cost of living in Minnesota and Wisconsin and Tennessee. We still maintain stores in Wisconsin and Minnesota in addition to our home, as you are all aware. However, there was a third shop that served as a garage for our vehicles. You are unaware of this. The show could go on as planned because we could also store items outdoors, rent out land, and do other things. A dramatic shift in state taxes and living expenses was something he noticed. Aside from the generally lower prices of housing, insurance, and utilities, Tennessee does not impose a state income tax on individual income. However, the overall cost is approximately 6.1% higher in Minnesota. Moving for a better cost of living is a valid reason, but that wasn't Derek's only motivation. North Dakota, where Derek was born and raised, is known for its relative silence. Even as Vice Grip Garage expanded, he yearned for a tranquil haven for his own children. He wished they could return to his childhood life on a farm. Despite his current fame in the car industry, Derek had a brief stint in the military before becoming a YouTube star. If you're wondering why a mechanic enlisted, you're not alone. Freedom is the obvious answer. Preserving liberty and fairness was his top priority. As someone who enjoyed going on adventures, Derek thought joining the military would be a great fit. Derek had to decide which branch of the military he wanted to join, the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, or the Marines, before he could enlist. Due to his emphasis on teamwork and personal development, he immediately enlisted in the Army. You might expect that the rigorous selection process he had to endure tested his mental, emotional, and physical fortitude. He underwent more rigorous training after enlisting in the Army, and his proficiency with technology led to his employment as an IT specialist. It was his responsibility to maintain secure systems, manage networks, and resolve technological issues so that the troops could operate efficiently. Every task relied on his job. Life in the service was challenging. Being away from family and working long hours was tough. However, Derek transformed and remained faithful. Returning to civilian life was a tough decision he had to make after serving his country. There were unique challenges associated with transitioning from military service to civilian life. However, Derek overcame the challenge by drawing on his extensive experience in customer service. The private sector was no problem for him to navigate because his leadership, discipline, and problem-solving skills were valuable in a variety of professional contexts. Despite Derek's extensive background in information technology, he was not simply hired as an ordinary employee. Beginning his career at the C-suite level, he swiftly advanced to become a highly responsible leader. Budgets, difficult problems, and company growth were all things his employees relied on him for as a boss. Derek's strength has always been his ability to solve problems creatively and efficiently, even under pressure. Having this ability helped him stand out in the business world and was crucial when he established Vice Grip Garage,